Welcome, everybody. Labyrinth Lifers, Season 2, Episode...
17.
17.
Woo.
I always ask Jeff because I forget every single time. So, I think we are starting a new year. If you remember correctly, the party had just finished clearing out berserkers and druids galore at the Battle of Yester Hill. And they made their way back to the winery to retrieve their magical items and deed or ownership contract in the winery. And that's where we're picking up.
And the donkey.
And the donkey.
Francis
the donkey. So, are you guys just gonna sleep there first?
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, that was a plan because we all got drunk and stupid and passed out.
Right.
Okay, so I guess just everybody pick your spells, whatnot, recharge your HP, all your actions, and everything else.
Yep.
Okay, so Adrian's wife has the items ready to give to you. She says, "Who would like these?"
Why don't you hand them all to me and I'll divvy them out?
Give him to Jan.
Let's put them on the table and take a look.
She looks towards Janstina. Says, "You?"
Yeah, I'll take them.
Let's put them on the table. Let's all take a look.
Put it all on the table.
Okay. Yep. Do you remember what the items are?
One was the Ring of the Ram.
He gave that to me.
He gave that to Thanon.
Yeah.
Thanon.
We had
Oil of
something. Slippery
oil.
oil.
Of slipperiness.
Yep.
5 doses of ointment.
Keatum's ointment.
Keatum's ointment.
What's that? Keanu Reeves?
Keanu's ointment.
What's it do?
Point Break.
Need to go.
You're in Point Break. No, Keatum's ointment is, I believe it cures any sort of disease-like symptom.
It does.
Yeah.
Cool.
It
Good to know.
does.
That would have been nice when I drank the wine.
That's poison, not a disease.
It says the creature that receives it regains 2d8 plus 2 hit points, ceases to be poisoned, and is cured of any disease.
Oh, that does work for poison. Cool.
And there's 5 of them?
There's 5 doses.
There's 5 doses.
Okay.
What was the other item?
There was some healing potions, I thought.
Yes.
3
There was
greater healing potions.
It was cure. Nobody took these?
No. So I feel like with the items, I don't get any because I got the ring, right?
And that axe.
You guys can divvy the rest of those out. No, she got the axe.
You got the axe. She got the blood spear.
Yeah,
No, I got the axe too.
Oh, you got
it's
the
for
axe.
plants. He didn't want it anyways. It was lightweight.
It's pretty badass. You want that axe.
Right.
It called to you too, Nate.
It did call to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if it called to you, you didn't want it.
Take it back.
I think it was 2 cure serious wounds, I think.
A greater.
Two potions?
It's greater cure wounds.
Greater cure wounds. It was 2 of them?
Yeah.
2 or 3, yeah.
Okay. All right, so she puts everything out on the table for whoever wants to, pick them up. And then she's got the ownership. She says the ownership contract. She says, do you have a representative to sign this, or should I have each signature here?
Yeah, we should all put her.
I think we signed that 6 ways.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I pick up the oil of slipperiness.
That's good for a rogue.
Okay.
I'll take the cure diseases or symptoms like
Cattleman's
that.
ointment.
Well, if there's 5 of them, just everybody but me gets one, right?
It's 1 bottle with 5 doses.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay. All right.
I don't like to carry stuff because I absorb it if I turn into something else. So if we need it during combat, then
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
then I can't do anything. God, I hate.
So I think Thanon should
Right.
carry his axe.
I told him I'd give it to him.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, I hand you the axe.
What's the name of the
Okay,
axe?
so are we the axe? Let me see.
What do you want to know about it? I took that on the
I
note.
wanted to know the name.
Oh, that I don't know.
I had a name. It was. I want to say it was +2. Let me see here. Here it is. Yes, when the axe hits a plant, whether an ordinary plant or a plant creature, the target takes an extra 1d8 slashing.
Ah, yes.
And then anybody of non-good alignment that picks it up, it'll sprout thorns and prick the wielder 1 point of damage. And it's some
Sweetness.
magical damage.
Straight up
Okay,
purchase.
remind me about the spear. It has a name, right?
Blood spear.
Yes. The Blood Spear of Kavan.
Of Kavan. And how do you spell that?
Kavan.
Okay.
Uh,
Like it sounds.
Surprisingly, yeah.
And who was it that had it?
It
Because you
was-
mentioned his name.
It was under
but
the
it's-
cairn. It was
Yeah.
underneath that bot.
Yeah, but a skeleton had it.
Well, somebody
And-
specific had it before. It said,
Yeah, he said who it was.
so it's lying amid Kavan's moldy bones.
Oh, okay. That was his name.
+2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. And then also, if you have a hit on a creature that brings it to 0, you gain that same amount of hit points to yourself.
Wow. For a turn? Did it?
Well, just if you attack somebody and you kill them, that
Oh,
damage
so it
that you do to them,
replenishes
you would absorb it to yourself.
but only up to my max. Correct.
Right.
Does the axe have a name?
Nothing like that. It has that 1d8 additional for plant creatures and
No
plants.
names.
No names, no.
Planty axe.
Plant killer.
Planty axe.
Can you remind me about the ring again?
The ring of the
Ring
ram
of the Ram.
Yeah.
is
yeah.
pimp.
Okay, so description for Ring of the Ram. This ring requires attunement. It has 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. While wearing this ring, you can use an action to expend 1 to 3 of its charges to attack one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The ring produces a spectral ram's head and makes its attack roll with a +7 bonus. On a hit, for each charge you spend, the target takes 2d10 force damage and is pushed 5 feet away from you. Alternatively, you can expend 1 to 3 of the ring's charges as an action to try and break an object you can see within 60 feet of you that isn't being worn or carried. The ring makes a strength check with a +5 bonus for each charge you spin.
Damn.
It does require attunement, though.
What's that mean?
Means you have to establish a bond with the item itself, and
Take it to dinner.
Right.
You have to wear it. You have to wear it and use it.
yeah, it can only be attuned to one creature at a time. Let me post this link because this is way too much for me to.
Okay, I'm gonna slip it on. For
All right.
sure.
And that disease cure thing was called what exactly?
Shadowman's ointment.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just meant more of the K or a C or
It's a K.
K. Okay.
Look, I'll spell it out for you, Josh.
All right, thanks.
So, Adrian sees it. He comes down, sees you guys getting your items. It says, "Are we ready to roll?"
Well, I'd like to compare notes. So we're going to Kresk, right?
Right.
Is that where we're going?
Yes.
What are we doing at Kresk?
Dropping off Ireena.
Thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Gods.
And then he says, "I'm also going to be delivering this wine here, so you guys can get in."
All right. So is there anybody at Kresk that we could find out where some locations are? Because I was reading through my notes from when we had Madame Eva read our fortune. I think everyone was about 3 sheets to the wind.
I've got those two.
Oh, Yarwin.
When she read our so me and Yarwin should compare notes.
I've got notes too.
You're drunk.
I got them.
I got him.
Got him.
He says, "Madam Eva."
Yes.
He says, "I'm not familiar with that name."
Okay, you're talking about the cards?
Yeah, 5 of stars.
Did we all get the same cards?
We did.
Yes.
It's just
She
5.
read it out to
The
the
first
group.
one was 5 of stars?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So, I had-
treasure small castle under a mountain, guarded by giants. It's in the Amber Temple. And then the 8 of glyphs, which is a powerful force, holy symbol, pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors, also in the Amber Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 5 of swords is where we'll find the sun sword, which is in a werewolf den. We have to find a ghost of a fallen paladin dead in a dragon's lair.
Yeah, Godfrey Gwillem.
Yes. Yeah, Sir Godfrey.
And what about the Argynvost?
And then
I had that as my note.
there is...
Argynvost.
Yeah.
Yeah, lurks in the darkness where morning light once... That's the artifact? I'm not sure what that is. Oh,
Yeah.
it leads to Strahd in a church.
Yeah.
That's how I read that.
Yep, that's what I have too.
So we have to find Argynvost Hold and the Amber Temple and the werewolf den.
He says,
My notes say that the first treasure that we need is in a castle in Ravenloft, the Amber Temple.
It's a model castle.
It's a miniature cap.
Right.
Yeah.
In the
miniature.
Amber Temple, which is in the Balanock Mountains.
So that's what we need to head to from Crest, right? The Balanock Mountains.
That or go to Lake Baratok for the werewolf's den.
Okay, yeah, let's see what people have
he
to
says,
say.
"I'm sure the Burgomaster would be able to help you out a little bit more." He says, "Argynvost does sound familiar."
Okay.
He says, "Why don't we make our way to Kresk, and you can speak to this Burgomaster and see if he can help you out more."
Let's do it.
Do people want to have breakfast and stuff? I'd kind of like to try this attunement thing out before we go. I think it would be beneficial to the whole
Attunement is where you wear it, and over time it gets
just
used to.
hang
It's
out
sort of like
with
getting a new cat.
What Dirk just sent me said that Attuning an item requires a creature to spend a short rest focused only on that item while being in
Right.
physical contact with it.
Short rest is 4 hours.
Well, we'll just
If
have a
it's
long
if
brunch.
it's interrupted, the attunement fails.
Yeah. It's sort of like a meditation.
Yeah. Otherwise, at the end of the rest, the creature gains intuitive understanding of how to activate any magical properties of the item.
He says,
We don't have to, but
would you like to do that now or after you reach Kresk? I would like to get this wine to these people.
Remember, they can't drink the water.
Let's go to Crest and then we can
all right.
let you meditate on your ring and play with yourself.
Well, you guys, handle Ireena.
I'll let
Right.
Mryla handle Ireena.
Yeah. Let's Poor Ireena.
So the guy from the feather, I want to ask him if he knows where I can get a poisoner's kit.
A poisoner's kit. He says, that's an interesting question. He says that would definitely be back. I would try Valaki or Barovia. I don't think Crest is going to have what you need.
Okay. Well, I tried Barovia and nothing there, so.
Yeah, I just know that Kresk is not a bit impoverished.
Okay.
Maybe if you ask around there, someone can help you out. I don't know of anyone selling something like that in Kresk. It's a little smaller than the other towns.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and head out.
Let's do it.
To Kresk.
Regulators, mount up.
All right, so you guys go back to the Raven River Crossroads. And again, you see an arm pointing north that reads Kresk, one pointing east that reads Valaki, and one southwest that says Wizard of Wines. It's about,
Crest.
Kresk.
let's see, it's about 3 or 4 miles before you get there.
Wizards of Wines?
Yeah, that was the name of the winery.
That was the winery.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, okay. You guys get to the front, and the guards say, "Ho!"
Oh,
Hey, it's us again.
it's us again.
We got some.
And they look a
wine.
little confused, and they see Adrian, and he's got probably 6 barrels of wine in the wagon with him. And you guys are traveling with him. He says, "Please, I need to speak to the burgomaster, please." And they nod and leave, and come back, and it's Dmitry Kreskov again. Adrian says, "Greetings, Burgomaster Kreskov. I hope you and your villagers are in a fair state today." He says, Yes, Martikov, enough of the pleasantries. What is your business here? Why do you bring these travelers with you? I have no room for or time for Strahd's playthings." He
Last
kinda
time
looks
we
around.
talked to you,
Yeah, if you recall, we had a
Yeah.
you
deal.
said, get
Yeah.
the wine, and you let us
And you
in.
let us in.
Adrian says, "Understood. Well, I hope the news we bring you this morning is to your liking. As you see, this group that you've met already has cleared the winery of the crazed druids. Now that that is out of the way," and he turns and pats the barrels in the back of them, "I believe we can resume business." Dmitry says, I see. So these folk were capable of this, eh?
Yeah, A.
Yeah.
And now we got Francis with us too.
Yeah.
Yes. Adrian says, "Francis indeed. But not only that, sir, they also cleared Yester Hill. And you see his eyes widen for a second, and then he regains himself. Well, that is certainly unexpected news. And good to hear. Let's talk more inside. Begins to open the gate. Adrian says, "Alas, I cannot stay, as I must begin these delinquent deliveries to the other parts of Barovia. But please, chat with the party as you will. And again, Dimitri, thank you." And then
Adrian,
he turns to you.
Ireena with you if you want. She's good at delivering stuff. She can't fight for shit.
No. Ireena stays in Kresk.
He says, "I must leave you now. I cannot thank you enough for everything that you've done for my family and for Barovia. I was initially skeptical, but you have proven your worth tenfold. And I look forward to possibly seeing you again in the future."
You as well, Adrian.
Sounds good.
Be sure to check on any taverns you come across. You'll get your payments there. Just give them your contract.
10-4.
Sweet.
Okay, who has a copy of the contract? Just so you can...
Say we give it to Yar.
Yeah.
Yar!
Yar.
All right, he hands it to you.
Bro. Not Yar.
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 So, Dimitri he nods. He says, "Your family provides an invaluable service, Adrian. Please give your father my blessings." And the gate opens.
Finally.
Kresk.
This better be good. After all that bullshit.
So, he's the first one to meet you there, Dmitry Kreskov. And he says, "Please forgive me for my precautions the first time you came to the gate. We've had so-called heroes in the past claim to do such as you've done already and proved yourselves. So, my village and these people are yours. We don't have much here, I will admit, but if you do need a place to stay, you are welcome to stay in my home for the night."
Thank you.
Roger that.
Appreciate that.
Do you have any mercantile shops or anything?
We have nothing here except for the villagers.
We're looking for some type of church or whatnot that we're supposed to be taking
Yeah,
Ireena to.
His face kind of darkens at the mention of that. He says, "You're here for the Abbey?"
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Well, he says, "I'll tell you this. That Abbey no one's been up there in ages. You are more than welcome to venture into it yourselves. I will not be accompanying you. But you, as I said, you can stay at my home. We will feed you what we have.
That sounds good.
It's just me and my wife.
Well, why don't we...
And he looks a little like, when he says that, his voice kind of cracks when he says me and my wife.
Dead kids, eh?
Did you say that, Mryla? He looks a little horrified.
All right. Well, I say we go back with the Burgomeister, and Fannin can do his meditation, bond with his axe. We can eat. We can talk to him.
Okay.
Find out some of the Madame Eva stuff.
Yeah.
And I have some questions, too.
Shouldn't we
Is
drop
everybody
off
okay with that?
Ireena, though? I mean, that's the whole point of everything we've been doing here.
Judging by everything that's happened,
Yeah.
I would say there's going to be some technical difficulties with that.
Technical difficulties.
I don't think that's going to go as smoothly as we had
He
thought.
says that I don't know the purpose of you dropping this woman off to the Abbey, but if you do, I would recommend that you prepare yourselves before you head up there.
What's in the Abbey?
Yeah, why are you so scared of the Abbey?
He says,
Yeah.
You're clearly disturbed.
What's the story?
the Abbey was once a hospital and a convent, but it fell on hard times after the land was swallowed up by Strahd's mist. Some of the clergy fell prey to that devil, while others fell mad and either starved themselves to death or turned to cannibalism.
Can I
Are
ask
they-
you
Are
about
they
how
undead
Yes.
now?
Ravenloft was before Strahd's Mist
Strahd.
descended?
He says that's much further than my lifetime. I was
Any
born
accounts?
into Strahd's madness.
Has it always been gloomy? How do
For
y'all know
as
the
long-
difference? That's
I've
all you
heard
know.
tales of the mist before Strahd descended here, but this was centuries ago. He said, I know nothing else than what we have here. Are you from Barovia? I take it you aren't.
No.
We are not.
This is interesting.
Far off land.
I
You
know
would
of
know
no ways to get in or out of Barovia. I find that very interesting.
We do as well.
He says, come, back to my cottage. Okay, so
Okay.
you guys get there. His wife, Anna, is there. She seems pretty quiet, kind of nods to you, doesn't say much. And then he takes you guys over to the side and he says, you'll have to forgive me. We're still a little grief-stricken. My children, we just lost our last child at 14.
Strahd have anything to do with this?
No. She came down with a mysterious illness we had no cures for.
Can you describe the symptoms?
She was bedridden with sweats, fever-like symptoms. She could not eat anything. She vomited profusely for days on end. And as much as we tried to hydrate her and feed her, it was... He just stops talking.
I'm sorry.
He says, it's a little hard for us because she was our last child, and we've lost 3 before her. We have no more to carry our bloodline, so I don't mean to burden you with anything. Please, make yourselves at home.
We can give you Ireena.
Care to adopt?
So he says, I have wine. This new wine, and also we had a wine cellar that I had for reserves in case we ran out any more than we did. But you're welcome to either or my wife will be cooking rabbit tonight. If you like
Rabbit
that.
sounds good.
I'd like
With
a glass
turnips.
of wine. Whatever you're offering.
He just gives you the
Yeah.
bottle.
Is there a room or an area where I could go,
Meditate.
yeah, have some alone
It's actually-
time?
So
And some scrolls.
let's see.
So you can meditate.
So you all notice on your way to Dmitry Kreskov's cottage that this place is pretty impoverished. The streets are muddy and unkempt, and there's the smell of cattle and horses in the air. Yeah, you don't see anything besides his cottage that's bigger than 200 square feet of a home. Again, the people look pretty miserable. Not maybe as miserable as some of the other places, but it's a different kind of misery. They just look poor. They look poor and unhappy because they're poor. So he invites you inside. You know, it's better than the houses that you've seen on the way. But you also notice there's like on the outskirts. Actually, Yarwin and Janstina notice this. You notice that there's graveyards in every single backyard of each house.
Plaguey. Something like that. I guess we should probably ask about his other kids, too.
Yeah.
Or about the graveyards. We don't want to straight up ask him about the kid.
What about the
I'm
graveyard?
whispering this to my group mates. I'm not saying this in front of...
Am I attuning now? Is there a place for me to go chill in the corner or something? Or is this
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
one-room
his-
place where I should just face the wall and do it?
No, it's
Just
definitely one room. But
Jan?
yes,
You're seriously attuning to that staff?
Yeah, I figure some of the benefits outweigh the trauma.
Doesn't sound very godly of you.
Do you have
The only thing I'm thinking of is by attuning to it, if it keeps blights at bay, as long as we don't fight them, I think it'll help us.
Yeah.
Freaks out animals,
Okay.
too, right? Or is that my... Hold on, I gotta read it again.
Do you have a similar deal for the ring or no? Dirk?
what do you mean?
Like these little printouts of the blood spear and the
The
staff.
Ram's ring.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you have-
no.
Okay.
Those items came from
Strahd.
campaign.
Gotcha. 10-4.
So while the two are attuning to their items, the other
I guess I'll
the
attune, too. Sorry.
so he says, I mean, is there anything you guys need before you head up there, or have any questions?
Well, you said we should prepare ourselves. What do you mean? What would you suggest?
Says, well, I'm not brave enough to go up there. We've heard screams and I would worry for your safety. You know, if you're gonna head up there, be prepared for battle or anything else that you think might come along. I don't know what's in there, but I can tell you that I've met the abbot once or twice, and he, in a very vast period of time, between 10 years, has not aged in that time.
Can
But,
I ask you a
You know,
delicate
I have
question?
seen him.
Aren't you attuning?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll ask a question first. We noticed there were graves in everybody's yards. What's the story with that?
Well, we have no dedicated graveyard, so when a family member dies, they're buried in the back of the house.
For generations?
Yes.
Okay.
What's it called where we're going again?
The Abbey of Kresk.
Abbey of St. Markovia.
Oh, St. Markovia.
Abbey. Okay.
All right.
So has anyone around town been up to the Abbey, or anyone else talk about it?
He says everyone, ever since the tales of people inside going mad, starving themselves to death and becoming cannibals, this probably happened 20 years ago, probably 17, 18, 19, 20. Nobody's gone up since. It's been abandoned since that time. And he says,
Wasn't he told this is supposed to be like a safe place to bring Ireena?
he says, I don't know of it being a safe place. I mean, And she looks a little kind of freaked out by it.
Sure you want to do this, Ireena?
She says, well, I trust my brother's words. He seemed to think that this was a place I needed to go. I think we should go in maybe this direction, maybe scope it from the outside.
Alright. If you say so.
And then he says the head of the abbey is just simply called the abbot. That's what I know him by. There are some that say that he arrived here over a century ago. And that he has not aged a day since he got here. He occasionally visits our shrine of the White Sun that's here at the edge of town. He asked for tribute in the form of wine. We don't know his name or where he came from. I can't tell you that. I don't know anything about that. I don't think he's Strahd, but there are some, there are some villages in this here that believe he is Strahd, but I do not think so. There are bells that ring at odd times, day and night. And like I said, the baleful screams and horrible inhuman laughter.
You said there's cannibals?
There were tales of cannibalism from the original nuns that stayed there. It used to be a convent and hospital.
Doesn't sound like a place we really want to go.
Yeah, sounds like the brother's an idiot. That's why.
Yeah.
So
He says, well, I don't know. I mean, you can either... He says, I wouldn't go up there, but I'm also not a warrior. I don't travel. I'm here to protect this town and this town alone. The members of the Abbey have not come to mess with my focus much as I can tell. But that being said, it is on the edge of town, and I would not personally ever go there, and I counsel my villagers to not go there themselves. But they also do not mess with us. He says you're welcome to visit the shrine on the edge of town and see there, it's holy water. So you can stay there, see if anything, I don't know that the abbot is known to visit that occasionally, but there's no guarantee that he will be there. And it's about 9 o'clock in the morning right now.
well,
He says, I don't think it's a vampire because I've seen this man in the daytime.
Right.
so I'm going to ask the group, like, what is going up there going to help us get back to our home?
Nothing.
We did it for Ireena, for her brother.
Well, let her go and
I mean, I feel like we came a long way to get here. We may as well scope it out, but...
She says, I have an idea. Why don't you come with me to the gates of the Abbey, and I will walk inside alone.
Alright. Deal.
That's fine. You're on your own.
I will at least scope it out and see what is going on. This does not sound like the same Abbey of St. Markovia that we have been told in Barovia.
No.
Okay, so...
You guys attuned or what?
Well,
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh.
If y'all want to go ahead and eat while they're doing that, I think y'all just ate breakfast though, huh?
Yeah.
So there's nothing else around town we can check out while they're doing that? It's all just ramshackle?
It says, unfortunately, no, we do not have any shops or taverns here.
Well, does anybody want to
Oh,
ask about the different places that came up in Madame
Yeah.
Eva's deal?
Do you know anything? Well, I'm attuning, or am I done?
Well, honestly, it says attuning with weapons. You can practice with them.
Oh,
So we
okay.
can just be standing off in the corner,
Swinging it.
swinging it, and still talking. We don't have to be
Well,
Okay.
meditating.
but you have to focus on the weapon itself.
All right.
That's the thing.
That's
It's sort of
fine.
like a meditative connection with the item, so you can't be distracted, and speech
I can't
will probably
multitask.
distract you. No, not
I
with
got some
this.
skills. I can be an animal. I can be a person. Shit, I think I can wave a sphere around and talk to.
But
a
it wouldn't
burgomaster.
take that long if you said. It would probably be easier to just knock it out meditation wise, and that way, you know, if you do it in an hour instead of like 10 minutes a day.
So, you have no tavern? Weren't we required to free up the vineyard? Where do you keep any wine?
I think the
He
wine
says-
was for the abbot.
He says, I disperse this wine to the villagers myself.
Because you can't drink the water.
God, this place sucks.
He says, you said Madame Eva. I'm not sure. I'm not aware.
Have you ever heard
Can I
of
say something? Or am I
Argenvol's
attuning too
hold?
hard?
No, you can get it done in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it says a short rest can be 1 hour.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's
I thought
do
I
it.
had to be 4.
No,
All right.
at least
I'm
1 hour
attuned.
long.
Great.
I'm gonna hold my staff and stare at it.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we want to ask him about some of these places?
Let's go to the Abbey.
Let's ask about.
Thane's
Let's-
ready.
Let's ask about. I'm asking about Argenvol's hold. If he's ever heard of it.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the history of it?
He says, Argon Volshold. Yes, I do know of this place. It's a ruined mansion. Once the refuge of the Order of the Silver Dragon. The Order of the Silver Dragon was a group that opposed Strahd, but failed.
Okay.
This was their place that they stayed. They were defeated a long time ago, and this is the mansion in ruins.
Was one of them Godfrey Gwillem?
I do not know. I'm sorry, but I can tell you the location, and he
Yeah,
marks
how
it
far is
on.
it? Where's it
He
at?
marks it on your map.
How far away is it?
It's southeast, about 2.5 miles.
Okay.
So I'll point it out on your map
Hmm.
when y'all
I've
head
been
out.
hearing a lot about an Amber Temple as well.
Yeah.
The Balanok Mountains. Are you familiar with that?
This is the Amber Temple. He says, I cannot tell you the location, but the lore is that Strahd gave himself to the dark powers in that temple. He became the force that he is today in that location.
Okay.
He says, but the Balanok Mountains, yes, I can tell you that, where they are. Would you like me to mark it on your map?
Yes,
do.
please.
Okay, so he, let's see. He puts it on your map.
Sweet.
Where is it?
What about Lake Baratok? Supposedly there's a werewolf den there.
Oh, he says Lake Baratok is not far from here. It's to the east. Actually, you probably cross the Raven River crossroads to get here. You would just go north from there.
Have you heard
Okay.
stories of werewolves?
Yes, but I've also heard stories of werewolves virtually anywhere in Barovia.
Any tips on how to fight werewolves?
Silver weapons.
Any place we can get silver weapons? Or
Not here.
no, well, I know not here.
Are you
Don't
familiar
even
This is,
have an
with
Airbnb here, let alone.
the Shrine of Mother Night or something like that? My notes say Mother Night Shrine. That would
doesn't
be
make sense.
Lake Baratok.
This is Mother Night Shrine. I'm not aware of.
That's that's where the werewolf den is at Lake Baratok.
Oh, okay.
I
Got
would
that
say
far.
there's a. Is there not? Did you come from Valaki?
Yes.
We did.
Did you try silver Did you try a weaponsmith there?
No.
I don't remember
I
if
think
we did or
so.
not.
No, we didn't.
That's the nearest
Yes.
big town. There, I would return. I would go back to Valaki and try that.
Probably be a good idea. And finally, can you mark where Castle Ravenloft is?
He's like, what?
Just curious.
Just sightseeing, map of the stars.
It's like
He looks at you like you're
the
crazy.
lay of the land.
Good reference point.
He's like, yeah, I suppose I can.
Think about turning it into a B&B after we're done.
He's like, I would counsel to take VRBO over Airbnb. Okay, so he marks Castle Ravenloft off, and he marks the
Lake Baratok.
Lake Baratok
Balanock
and
Mountains.
the Balanock Mountains
And the Argonvost. Oh.
and Argonvost. Yeah, those are the 4 places. He didn't know about it, a werewolf den or the Mother Night Shrine.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Nice.
Sweet.
Sure. Yes.
So
I wish I could help you more. I worry that you step into this abbey if you decide to do so.
Don't worry about us.
If you like, anoint yourself at the shrine before you go in. It can do you nothing but good.
All right.
Okay?
Sweet.
All right.
All right.
Do we need to roll for attunement or anything? Or
Not that I'm aware of. Let's see.
It doesn't say you do.
No, you usually just have to focus on that period of
Yeah.
time.
Let's go annoy ourselves.
Activating
Focus.
it out.
So we're outside now? Have we walked out? Are we alone?
Well, he's...
Still hanging out?
Yeah, I mean, he's in the house, but yes, if you want to go outside, it's 9:30. No, I guess it's been an hour, so it's about 10:30.
Alright, you guys want to head out?
let's go up to the Abbey and just drop Ireena off.
Yeah.
We've been her Uber long enough.
Can we just point her in the right direction?
We'll take her this far. We might as well just pull it into the driveway, so to speak.
We don't know for sure that her brother's dead, and if we do see him again, I aim to collect. Let's get her there.
Just trying to see the benefit for us.
We going to the shrine first?
Well, let's just do what Ireena said. Walk her up there.
Yeah, that's what
Stand
I'm saying.
outside. Let her walk in.
She says, I would like to anoint myself in the shrine, the pool, and then I will walk up into the abbey.
I think Mryla can help you out with anointing.
Yeah.
Why don't you go
Blood.
anoint Ireena?
Go anoint.
Go ahead. Go do that. Does she go do that?
She says, no, I'd like to see you have me walk into the place.
Well, go anoint yourself first, and then we'll take you up there.
Yeah, I'll go.
I mean,
with her.
where is the shrine? Is it way
On
far
the way?
away? Like
Shrine,
up by
no,
the
the
Abbey, or-
shrine is about, let's see. From where you're at right now, about 600 feet.
All right, let's go there.
Well, let's.
Yeah,
Ireena,
I'm
go
going
ahead.
with her.
When you run around the
Catch
curve,
up
you
with
can
you.
actually see it in the distance. It looks like there's just a bunch of little houses on the way, and it's just a pool with the Morning Star symbol hanging above it.
So does Ireena
Like
walk
the
up there?
sun?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go.
So, I want to talk to you guys. I want to go back to what Pete said. Or, I'm sorry, what Stolid said. Alright, we got a lot going on. But how does this get us home?
It doesn't get us home, it gets us money.
Yeah,
But we can't pay for bus fare to get home.
right. Strahd says he's our only ticket. Does anybody know anything else? Heard anything else?
Well, we were
Think
told
of
along the
anything
line
else?
that defeating Strahd's gonna help us get there, right? The first
I
Burgomeister?
think Strahd wants
Yeah.
Ireena too.
So if we need to defeat Strahd, I'd say we more focus on trying to get to these people that were fighting him before.
That's what I say.
Well, let's drop her off, right? We made it.
I
this
didn't
far.
come all the way to this damn
Yeah,
city.
we spent
Yeah.
friggin' 4 months getting here.
She's here. Can't walk. Fine. Whatever.
Alright,
I said,
I'll walk her up to
Get
the
over
door.
it.
I don't want to go in there.
Okay, well, the shrine itself is actually to the left,
Mhm.
and then it circles back, and then the abbey is up.
Oh.
Like it goes like 400 feet and winds very steeply up into the abbey.
okay.
But the shrine is to the left.
Alright, so are we going to the shrine? Splash in the
Yeah.
water a
Well,
little bit?
Irena's going to the shrine, so
I'm feeling a little
So-
dirty.
he's in charge, right?
I'm going with her. I'm gonna anoint myself. I'm going
Okay.
in that abbey.
The people who anoints themselves with it.
I
Me.
do.
I do.
1, 2, 3.
Anointed.
There's nothing wrong with luck.
Hey,
I'll
what-
take any luck that goes.
Yeah.
Who's doing it?
That's
Tell me,
lucky.
give me a head count.
Jan,
Me.
Everybody but Mryla?
Mryla.
Everybody,
He
got
raised her
Mryla?
hand. No, he
Raise
raised
his
his hand.
hand. Merly in or what?
Sure, why not? Go for a swim.
We're like bathing in there.
Okay, so you gain the benefits of a lesser restoration spell.
Nice. Sweet.
All right.
It
What are
feels
those
very.
benefits?
That's what I cured you of poison with.
Okay.
If
It also
have
does other
any
stuff.
need of it.
Solid. Or I'm sorry.
The water otherwise tastes sweet and fresh, and for the people not drinking it, it feels supremely clean, like cleaner than water in Faerun.
I'm gonna fill up my water skin.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
no kidding. Alright. You gotta go to
You
bed
going
at
to bed?
10:30?
I got the
You can
backup.
stay up till 11.
At
Go to
least
the
get
Abbey.
to
All y'all aren't waking up at 5, alright?
Come
Oh,
up
come
to the
on.
Oh,
abbey.
cry me a
Come on.
river.
No, I'm going to bed. You
Jeez.
guys can do that.
Wow.
Minor.
So I'll see everybody a week from Monday.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, wait
Yeah.
for Monday.
Alright.
What's
Good
the
luck at
difference of
Abbey.
a half hour?
You can do that if you don't want the lag anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna miss some good stuff.
I know. Now that the
Give me some
dwarf
good
is
stuff here,
catatonic, let's
I'll
do
Come
watch
this.
on, half hour. Dude,
Janstina's been waiting for this moment.
it's like for a giant.
Okay.
Moving to the big chair.
No,
Are we
it's
ready?
alright. I'm good.
He farts
Well,
in
it's
that chair.
awesome not to hear myself echoing.
I bet.
Okay, so even under gray skies, this pool at the north end of the village shimmers and sparkles. Near its shore sits an old gazebo on the verge of collapse. A wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man, its paint chipped and faded, stands in the gazebo with arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced.
Interesting.
Okay,
Let's try the shrine.
so Ireena goes to anoint herself. She looks up in the sky like this. Like she's cocking her head around and like, what is that? As Ireena reaches the pool's edge, an image appears in its sparkling blue waters. A handsome youth of kind and noble visage.
Will you see this?
In
Yes.
the pool. Okay.
The sadness in his eyes turns to sudden joy. Tatiana, he says. It has been so long. Come at last. Ireena gasps and puts a hand on her heart. My beloved Sergi. In life you were a prince and a man of faith. We were to be married long ago. Has this blessed pool called your spirit to me? She reaches towards the water's surface as a hand of water rises up to take hers. Okay. What are y'all doing here?
Looking
Just watching.
I'm watching.
Just
in
watch.
amazement.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, like, it's probably a bad idea, but I'm going to let her go with it.
So, okay. Ireena is pulled into the pool and embraces Sergi beneath the rippling water. You have never seen a happier couple as they both begin to fade from view.
What?
Okay,
Aw,
Sweet.
let's go.
We're good.
sweet.
So,
Swing daddy.
like 3 or 4 seconds after that, a peal of thunder shakes the land, and the dark clouds coalesce into a terrible visage.
Uh-oh. We pissed
A
off
deep-
Todd.
Dark voice from beyond the mountains cries out, "She is mine!"
Too late.
Too
A
late.
terrible crack resounds as blue lightning splits the sky and strikes the pool.
Oh.
Okay.
Shit.
Which we're out of by now.
So, Mryla is going to roll a different save. But the 5 people that did the water in that area, roll a dex
Mryla
check.
did the water too.
She's in the water. She rolls a different. She
Oh.
rolls a different save. So roll a dex check.
I rolled 19.
All right.
8.
Okay. You're good, Jan.
There's Tony. Other way.
Roll a dex check.
Hey. Hey, asshole. What are you doing? Dude, what are you doing?
So I rolled a 21.
Wow, okay, that's 2 saves. That's a fail. All right, that's a fail.
Shit.
Somebody roll for Thanon.
What's his? I don't know what his dex is.
Oh, he
Well,
has
it's all right.
shut
I mean, I
down the
can tell you
computer
if
with his
we-
stuff.
Just roll a 20.
Oh wait, his dex is 4.
Plus
Dex is
4.
4.
Yeah.
11.
Ooh.
That's
He
a
failed.
7, so it's an 11. He failed. Is that everybody? Oh, Mryla, roll a Constitution check.
That's no
Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. So the people that failed their dex checks, you're knocked prone by the lightning.
Nah.
Hmm.
What happened to
Wait.
Toasty Mryla?
Mryla. Wait, we're gonna see. Hold on a second. It's just swimming. Takes 48 points of damage.
Holy fuck.
Oh!
Dope.
Dead?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
No, you're not dead. You're 0 hit points.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get 4.
Well, she's knocked out. I mean, she's out. But you, that's what everybody sees. So Jan and Stolid were able to jump out of the way of that blast that came into the pool. Everybody else was knocked out. So you two see the three others knocked out, and then Mryla fried and is knocked out. It does not look good.
Oh,
Well,
have to drag Mryla out of the.
yep. Start pulling them away from the
Pull Mryla out of the water.
Okay.
You're gonna give her mouth to mouth.
I'm gonna cast my cantrip, spare the dying on her.
Okay. Boom. All right.
All right.
She's stable.
Now I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds, revive her
Okay.
if it goes. Go. It is not wanting to go.
You can do both of those in one turn.
Oh,
Stream of life.
Well, it's open ended. I mean, because it's not a battle.
yeah, it's not
round,
battle.
Okay.
So
Cool.
okay. So you get it. 8 points, Mryla.
All right. Am I conscious now?
Yes.
Fuck.
Wow.
You never know what happened. You were swimming, and then all of a sudden, you feel like you had a ton of voltage go through your body.
So we just got
Doesn't
knocked
seem to-
over, the rest of us?
Yes. So eventually you just get up.
You
What
good,
the
Mryla?
Dude.
She's got like burnt skin,
Her hair
What
is
about-
gone.
smoke coming up.
Looking rough. How
Her
you
hair
feel?
is more crispy.
Yeah.
Energized.
What about Ireena?
She's gone.
Ireena's gone.
She's just
Now
gone.
Mryla does it. Yeah. Mryla, you're kind of not remembering that at first, but when Aramil says it, then you remember that she's gone.
And that if we look in the waters, just water again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the water looks different. It doesn't look pristine anymore.
Oh.
It's just like water.
It is.
So you see some villagers coming up and looking. They're like, oh, you hear kind of a clamor, people gossiping to each other. And eventually, what?
All I say is, I told you.
Mryla? What'd you say?
Is Strahd still in the sky, like yelling at
No,
us?
he's gone.
He was pretty pissed.
So
Does anybody know the story of Tatiana and Sergey? I'm asking this to the crowd.
villagers.
They look freaked out. They're like, oh. So you see the burgomaster walking up. He's like, what happened here?
Oh, no.
Ireena fell into the pool.
our friend just got
Electrocuted.
sucked in.
Look like a thunderstorm. That's about it. Moving on.
This guy in the water called her Tatiana, grabbed her hand with a water hand, pulled her in, and Strahd came out of the sky and hit it with lightning. Any clue what just happened?
He's a little delusional. Tends to
Says,
color the truth.
He goes up to the water and like looks at it a little bit and then like swashes his hand through it, puts some up, and then he looks at you and then he drinks a little bit.
Well, I don't know if you want to be drinking after Mryla was in there.
He says, was she in this water?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
This water is no good. Taste it.
No,
Well,
it's
thank you.
alright. Take your word for
It's
it.
good. We're good.
You've removed the blessing from our fountain.
We didn't
We
remove
did
shit.
Janstina did.
Jan did not.
The halfling woman did. She was bathing in the
Justina.
pool.
Not Jan, Justina.
The halfling woman was bathing in this pool, correct?
No,
She was
fell in there,
anointing.
lightning.
It was anointing.
And you say Strahd was here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see him?
You didn't hear him?
He says, no, I was not here. I was at my home.
It was pretty loud. Your home's like 600 feet away.
Yeah.
Pretty thin walls.
I heard rolling a bit of rolling thunder, but
A bit?
he says
You hear that giant lightning bolt just strike this freaking pool?
he says we've had this fountain for ages.
Look, all we know is this chick we tried to help said she had to
What?
come here.
Where is she?
Drop off. Yeah, she
got
went in the
pulled
water. Bye-bye.
But
She went to the fountain and didn't come back. That's all we know.
You say
What is
she
this?
reached out for someone, or she just
Yes.
went in on her own?
But the
accord?
fountain reached out for
it was
her.
like the lady in the lake. And
Only it was a guy. Sergey.
So this has never happened before?
No,
Right.
no, it has not.
Every other week.
This is definitely a first time, my friend. He says, I understand. Were there any names named out?
Sergey and
Tatiana.
Tatiana.
Ah. There is this is Strahd related then.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah.
just said.
Told you.
Well, I know you said that, but I needed some sort of proof. I believe you.
Look at Mryla. Is that proof enough?
He says, yeah, I suppose you have a point there. Do you aim to still reach this abbey?
No, we're good.
I mean, how do you know that's Strahd related?
I know the legend of Tatiana. It was his first love. And she did not love Strahd back. She loved Sergei. I do not know what this has to do with your friend, but these are mysterious happenings. We haven't had anything happen like this outside of our abbey.
Did Tatiana die? And was separated from Sergey?
Strahd murdered Tatiana.
Could it be that Tatiana's soul imbued herself into Ireena in an attempt as a host to get back to Sergey? Which just happened.
Well, he says I don't know, but your character actually remembers that Ireena actually did look like Tatiana.
Oh, yeah.
That was
that
mentioned
is
back
right.
then. Yeah.
Back in
That's
the
why
day.
he was visiting her.
That's right.
So
That was
he
months
says,
ago.
I know. He says, well, it's very strange. You're welcome to visit the abbey, but
Now we're good.
Yeah. Let's go to Argenbust.
I want to visit
Where-
the Abbey.
the dwarf says, I want to go.
The dwarf is catatonic. He can just stay
There's
in
no
his
more
little
money.
Yeah.
cram ring.
Dan
Yeah,
wants to
just
go
that.
too.
Yeah,
Funny.
I got to role play him. So he's like, I don't see why we don't go and just see what's up there.
Yeah, maybe they know what happened to Ireena.
Because there's no
There's
money
just
in
a
it?
crazy abbot up there. No
Yeah.
money. There's no nothing.
The abbot
Took
used
care
to
of that
visit
crazy
this fountain
bitch.
a lot. Maybe he knows where Ireena is. I liked Ireena. She was alright with me.
Dude, she's good. She's happy.
She
Not
is.
good. She's gone. She's disappeared.
She went
Happily.
willingly.
Yeah, willingly and happily.
Oh.
That's
He
consent
says,
in my
look.
book.
And Strahd was pissed off.
She
I think
was
it's.
under
I think
some
that's
kind
like
of
win,
spell.
win, win, win.
How do we know this dude's not a vampire?
Which dude?
The
The
water.
abbot?
The abbot.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
said
yes,
he
You saw him
aged.
in the daylight.
Maybe he works for Strahd.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Well,
I
then
don't
let's
doubt
just
it.
go kill him.
He's like, Look, I'm not gonna have another repeat of me losing out. Winning a fight and then the party walking away from me. Whatever you guys decide to do, we'll do. My vote is to go to the Abbey, but where would we go next?
I said we go Argon Volsthold.
I'm with you. Unless you want to follow the cards as they were read to us. I mean, she specifically said with the first card that the first treasure was that model castle.
Yeah. Well, 2 things are in the Amber Temple.
Right. But that's not... I didn't look at the map. Is that close, or is that a hike?
Didn't really know where the...
I want to go up to the Abbey with Thanon.
Thanon doesn't want to go up. He wants
I think
to
he
do
does.
what most people want to do.
He says, if the elf is going, I'm going.
God damn it. Thanon, you just said you'd go along with the rest of the group. You're pissing me
Let's
off.
go check it out.
That's before the elf said anything.
It was not before the elf said anything.
Go in there and
Don't
kick
lie
him
to me,
later.
too. Damn it.
I have to roleplay like Shannon.
No, I know you're doing it.
He's
All right.
like, I mean, this is an abbey we're talking about. Who knows what's in there? There could be all kinds of coins, gems.
It's a hospital.
But didn't we just discuss that
Or
we should
abbesses
get
that,
back to the
help the
cards
poor.
and not do these side quests and get shiny
You
object
discussed
syndrome?
What if his robes have gold interwoven in them?
Squirrel.
Do you want to get home?
Yeah, I want to get home.
All right.
Aramil. Do we flip a coin?
Sure.
All right.
I
Pulls a
mean,
coin out.
Can I give Aramel like some big air clubs and a grass cutter ball and tell him to go play some Vortex Rally?
Let's see. I actually have a coin toss here. So he says, heads, Argon Volsholt, tails, the Abbey.
all right.
On tails.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Wait, we're all
Yes.
flipping?
All
He
right.
says, I'm sorry, party. Me and the elf are headed to the Abbey. We'll meet you
Check it
down when
out.
we're finished.
Well, shit. What are we supposed to do then?
Let them go get murdered.
Go play.
I want to ask this Abbey.
Letting them die doesn't help us get home. The only way we're going to get home is if we work together.
No.
Thanon picks up his coin and starts walking towards the Abbey.
Yep. Following him.
Hold up. Can I use charm person on more than one person?
Let's check it out.
Dude, Thanon's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell him.
Because they figure it out after the fact. I would not be trusted.
It says a humanoid.
Just one? Oh.
Yeah, it must make a wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. You're not fighting him, so he wouldn't have an advantage. If it fails, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you or your companions do something harmful to it.
What was that again? Spell
It says,
knows it's charged by you. Charmed by you.
charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, it knows that it has been charmed. Oh, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, you can target one additional creature.
There you go.
Oh,
For
okay.
each slot level above first.
Alright, I'm into it. What do y'all think?
Go for it.
Alright.
Well, you can't ask them. You just got to do it.
I can ask.
Yeah, but you
What are
got two
friends for?
people that you're about to charm.
Okay, right, and everybody's hanging out together.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, we're walking
I forgot
towards
my
the Abbey.
wisdom.
Right. Right. So y'all make wisdom checks. Corey, go ahead and make a wisdom check. I'll make one for Thanon.
Oh, God. I'm not very wise.
No, you're not.
15.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
let's see. Okay, Airmail passed. Thanon failed.
All right, hey Thanon, how about we just go to Argonvest?
So-
What do you say?
So I smack Thanon out of it.
You don't know that he's charmed.
No, you don't. Actually, Airmail doesn't know.
You have no
see
idea.
Thanon start to turn around and say, "Hey,
Come on, Thanon.
Yeah,
I think you
Arwen.
know it's right.
how are you doing?"
What are you doing, Thanon?
I think he wants
Thought
to
we
go
were
to
going to the Abbey.
Argonvest.
I mean, we should have a drink, Yarwin, me and you.
Okay.
Let's go get a drink.
All right, let's do
Thanon,
that. And then let's go to.
Smack
Come
him.
on, let's go to the Burgomeisters.
Hey, why are you hitting me? Jeez.
You're just charming your ass.
You don't
Obviously,
know anything.
something's going
All
on
you can
here.
say is like he's acting weird.
You're acting weird. Could I like? You
What do you
said
guys say?
if I
Go
do
ahead.
damage
I don't
towards
know.
him,
And then head
said-
off to Argonvest.
how much damage do I have to do to knock him out of it? You said if someone does damage to him, he's uncharmed.
Well, slap isn't
All of this
damage.
you shouldn't even be thinking about.
Yeah, the thing is, Aramil, you don't know that he's charmed. You just see him turn around and, like, you know, offer to get a drink.
Thanon, what happened
What?
to go to the Abbey? What are you talking about?
We need to have alcohol first. Come
I agree.
on.
Let's go have a
No,
drink.
we don't.
Yarwin, let's go get a drink.
Anybody else with us?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Find
Anybody
some
think
cake.
Now
anybody
you
think we
see,
should-
okay, Aramil, now
What
you see
style?
Yarwin kind of like talking to him a little bit more aggressively, and you kind of feel like something's suspicious. You don't know what it is.
What's stalled?
All right.
Does anything
Something's
think
going
before
on
we
here.
start going up to some
Why
new
did you
place,
suddenly
we should-
just
Hold on.
change your
Let's
mind?
solid talk. What are you trying to
No.
say?
Why don't we let maybe before we get involved in any kind of other adventure, we let the halfling get some health back beyond just the 8 points that were healed.
He says, good idea.
We should rest up Mryla.
All right.
He's like, but what are we going to do in this deadbeat town anyway?
We
Let's-
brought
The
6 barrels of
Burgomaster will
wine.
put us up. We got plenty of wine.
I don't know. I think
I'm
he
bored.
pissed at us. We ruined his pond.
We did ruin this pond.
He did offer his hospitality without any conditions.
Well, fine.
Sh-
If,
We may have.
Yeah.
He acted like it wasn't our fault when the pond got ruined.
Drink my milk.
if
Or
you want to
you-
rest,
I mean,
That's
Aramil, you
fine.
coming
We
with us?
we can take a rest,
Wine
let
sounds good to
Mryla
me.
heal up, but then we're going to the Abbey.
I don't think anybody wants to go there, dude. You can go by yourself if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Thanon isn't interested anymore. He was kind of on
He's
the
like,
fence
"Look."
anyways.
I just want a drink, okay? Don't know anything about any Abbey or Arkenfold or whatever you got. Darwin and I are friends, right,
Oh, yeah.
bro?
Why
Friend.
are you so about Yarwin right now? We were just heading to the Abbey.
She wants a drink of wine.
And Thanon likes wine. Well, you know.
I like wine more
And so
than
do
that
I.
Abbey. So,
Cat's
with,
magic
Aramil?
missile.
onward. And he starts walking
All right,
Fine.
I'll walk with him.
back.
Go ahead. Going to the Abbey.
Bum, 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 bum. Aramil approaches the Abbey alone. Okay.
I don't know.
If you have cold feet, you can always come back.
Paramount, how far are you going? Right up to it?
I'm gonna go up to the gate and see if
Okay,
the
so you're-
abbot's around. I'm gonna like at least yell for him.
Hey, Abbott.
I didn't find. He spent some time at this shrine.
Let me read this as you're going up. The switchback road that hugs the cliff is 10 feet wide and covered with loose gravel and chunks of broken rock. The ascent is slow and somewhat treacherous, and the air grows colder as you near the top.
All right.
And you're looking down on your party, walking away as you approach the gate. Okay, so you get to the gate. The road from the village climbs above the mist to the wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its two wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing gray smoke.
All right.
So the gate's unlocked.
Oh yeah, hello. Anybody there?
Okay. So when you do that, you hear some rustling on the other side of the gate. And you see two figures start to come out of the gate. One of them is 4 feet 9 inches tall and squats instead of standing upright. He looks like a beardless dwarf with patches of donkey flesh covering his face and body. He has one human ear and one wolf's ear, and a protruding wolf snout and fangs. His arms and hands are human, but his legs and feet are leonine, and he has a donkey's tail. He says, "Are you here for the abbot?"
Yes. See you around?
How can I help you, friend?
I heard the abbot frequents the shrine in town, and just had some really weird shit happen there, and just wondering if I could maybe ask him about it. Is he home?
Zigfrick! Zigfrick! So you see another figure appear that is 4 feet 7 inches tall. The left side of her face and body is covered with lizard scales, the right with tufts of gray wolf fur. Between these tufts is pale human skin. One of her eyes is that of a feline, and her fingers and hands resemble cat paws with opposable thumbs. She's got a cloak on. She says, "You are here for the abbot, yes?
Yes.
Come.
You said what? Come?
Come. Come. He's
Run
inside."
away.
Big Master Keith.
All right.
You come alone?
Is everybody cool here?
Totally copacetic.
He starts braying like a donkey, the other one, when you said that. She says, What are your intentions with the abbot?
Just need to ask him a couple questions.
That's fine. You know how to ask questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Words?
Yes.
Sentences?
Pretty fairly well, I guess. Yeah.
Piece them together one after the other, yes?
Yeah. Yep.
You can speak this to the abbot. Follow me.
All right. Following him.
All right. So when you go inside, it opens up. It gets pretty big. You see a pathway, let's see, that goes in. They start to lead you to, it's like an outer courtyard and then the abbey's set inside. They look like they were like guards, but were maybe sleeping when you got there. A 15-foot high curtain wall joins the abbey's two wings. Behind its battlements, two guards stand at attention, their features obscured by fog. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot-tall wooden doors, reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the plaque, is a tarnished copper plaque that reads the words, "May her light cure all illness." Okay, and then roll a wisdom check.
God damn it.
You did all right last time.
Nine.
-1.
Well,
Okay.
it's a 10 minus 1. All right.
Okay. So you notice that the guards that you mistakenly thought were there are actually scarecrows.
Okay.
So they open
Weird.
up. Yeah, they knock first. And they look back at you both and smile like this.
Hey.
The guy that was braying like a donkey says, "We have a friend! A friend is here for us!" And she starts to swat at him. Ah!
Um,
Run away.
Okay, so they open it up. The thick fog that fills this courtyard swirls as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall, on which stand several guards with their backs to you. Or so it seemed at first. It's clear now, like the guards outside, that these are merely scarecrows. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked underneath the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron rings bolted to them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. The quiet is shattered by horrible screams coming from the sheds. So you start to smell horrible smells, and you hear this animal grunting and people and screaming.
okay.
They don't seem like they are affected by it at all.
Let's...
Please
gonna-
wait in the courtyard.
Okay. I'm gonna run. out of there. I'm gonna try or attempt to.
All right. Are you not even looking back or anything?
No, I'm just
Whole
gonna
thing.
go.
Okay. So the rest of the party, you guys see as once you get to, because the path that goes up to the abbey is sort of above the village, right?
Mm-hmm. So we can
Um,
see him coming down.
Yes, as soon as you're
Hauling
walking
ass.
into you're walking into the cottage, and you see Aramil just booking it.
Sliding down the mountain.
Yeah. Doing this. And then after that, you see some sort of like hunchback humanoid figures that like stumble out to the gate and just look at him as he's running away.
Oh shit.
Yeah, damn it.
That
What
didn't
was
look
that?
like it went well.
All right, so like it takes like 5 minutes for him to get to y'all.
All right, guys.
So, like, how'd that work out for you?
Can we buy you a drink? Oh, we don't have to buy you a drink. Come have a drink.
All right.
Hey, where'd you go? Oh, that's Stannon.
Mm-hmm.
Fannin, just, you just shut your mouth if you would have freaking came with me. What's wrong with you? That did not go. It's just real freaky up there. Chained up humanoids, lizard people, wolf people patched together with human skin. A lot of screaming.
Did they say anything about Ireena?
Nope.
Did you talk to the? You didn't even talk to the abbot?
No, I mean, they seemed all right at first. A little creepy, well, real creepy, and then once I heard the screams, I just decided to get out of there.
So, Aramil, as you're
That's a
explaining
good
this, you hear laughter on the hilltop or the at the end of the pathway in front of the abbey. It's those two figures, and they're pointing at you and laughing.
Flip them good.
I give them the finger.
Ooh, ooh. They start beating their chest like, oh.
Fannin, let's go get these guys.
He's like, I thought we were drinking.
Ah, fuck you. All right, you guys win. So we'll just forget about Ireena forever.
Yeah.
Sounds
Told
good.
Told you.
You know, Mryla's all about that plan. All right, so we'll go ahead and call it here. Thanon will remember that he's been charmed, though.
Yes.
It only lasts for an hour.
He's gonna
Yeah.
kill me.
So he'll be able to roleplay that when he gets back.
That's gonna be fun. I don't think I can't think of anybody that would be better to try and pull that over on than Thanon.
Yeah.
So it's about
Sure.
11 o'clock. It's close. It's about an hour before noon. The people are really sort of like freaked out that those dudes were just laughing and pointing at you. They've seen them. Looks like they might have not been shocked by their appearance, but they're horrified that they're out here.
What did they say? Did they say anything?
They're just like, oh god, it's those mongrel folk.
What are
Whoa.
those things?
Chud.
What's wrong with them?
They say one woman hears you and says that they have occupied that abbey, or so we believe. We've only seen them a handful of times come from there. No one has gone up to that abbey since.
Dr. Moreau.
We've always seen a mix of animals jumbled up with these humans.
That's
We
weird.
call them mongrel folk.
Mongrels.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how they come about. There's no stories about it.
It's only been since the abbot has been here. We often hear laughter and screams coming from the abbey itself that echo down through our village. But they do not mess with us, so we do not mess with them.
So Thanon's only charmed for like a half hour more.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
good.
gonna get him good and drunk though. Okay, so we're going into the Burgomeister's, and I'm gonna ply him with wine till he
All right.
That
as
ain't
much
gonna
as
help.
he'll drink.
The burgomaster said, "What the hell happened up there?"
I went to go see the abbot.
You went inside,
I
right?
did, yeah. Yep.
You're alive. Did
Yeah,
not
it's-
expect such.
It's very strange. A lot of those mongrel folk, they don't speak very well. They were impressed with my sentences. And then I saw one other bat mongrel person in chains. A lot of screams, a lot of swirling fog and scarecrows, and I took off. So
I don't blame you, friend.
um,
He says, I don't think these mongrel folk necessarily harm us outwardly.
they didn't seem bad at first. It's mainly
But-
all the screaming that really, and they said that they referred to me as a friend for us, like that kind of freaked me out.
That is quite
I
terrifying.
just wanted to talk to the abbot. No, I wasn't a friend for all of them. Yeah, got out of there.
He says, I have the sneaking suspicion that even though they do not harm us and members of our village, there is something strange going on up there.
Definitely.
And your evidence provides further credence to that case.
Would have felt a lot better with my dwarf friend Tannen.
Thanon, have some more wine. It's only like your 16th.
He's down in it like it's water.
Hopefully I can
He's
get
like-
him drunk enough to remember that he's been charmed. He won't know what's
He's like,
going
look,
on by the
I'm
end of
ambidextrous.
it. Nice.
Real cool.
So
Let me just put
he
a
says
straw in this keg for you. Cask.
He says, I've never been tempted to, the burgomaster says this, I've never been tempted to go up there, but if you say that they're accepting you in to the abbey, then maybe I can speak directly to the abbot himself there?
Possibly. I mean, I'd be willing to go with you. I just felt a little scared by myself since my dwarf friend here totally lost it on me.
He's
Well,
down.
and the whole rest of the party didn't really want to do it.
And the rest of my party's a bunch of wusses. I decided to.
He says, I cannot fault you.
doesn't care about our friend Ireena, who's been with us since the beginning.
Dude, she's gone. She like evaporated. She looks happy.
You don't.
He says,
bother.
so-
She was charmed.
He says, where do you intend to go
Stupid
next?
anyways.
Girl.
Stupid Ireena. Strahd was pissed about it. I think we
Mryla-
saved her from him.
Mryla's strangely quiet.
Mryla, why are you so quiet over there?
Sorry. Yeah. Kill the freaks.
So he says, where do you intend to go from here?
What, Arvos? What is it?
Argenvost hold.
Argenvost, yeah.
Argenvost. We'll go there first.
He says it's almost as if you're trading in a dagger for, a dance with a dagger for a full-on battle with a two-handed sword with that one. He says, I know nothing about Argenvost, only what I hear about it. He says, I would prefer to. He says, "I'll deal with the enemy I know best." He says, "If I have to deal with this abbey, then I must. I don't want harm to come to my villagers. But if you decide to go to the Argon Volshold, I do not blame you, and I wish you the best of luck."
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have wine again.
Well, we might go back up to the Abbey. We're just taking a little rest. Just we'll talk to you about that before we leave.
Fair enough. All right, so we'll call it.
Mhm.
So you guys are going to be at the Burgomaster's house.
Yeah.
By the time we get back, Thanon will be conscious with knowing that you turned him back.
I don't know. I think he blacked out. He wanted to drink so much.
Thanon, don't black
Drank
out.
a lot of wine. It was Thanon's idea to go drink, not mine.
He does have a Thanon. He does have a
Thanon has-
dwarven
You can drink
Tolerance?
all.
constitution. Yeah, he can drink a lot of wine.
I can do more.
All right. I know. Like
Unlimited resources, dude. I got the writ.
I put a dent into it. So. All right, y'all.
All right.
Hey.
Until next
Have a
time.
Thanks for
good
watching,
evening.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Not this next Monday, but next, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Sweet.
Okay.
Later.
Later.
Night.
Yeah.
And cut.